Alright, so this is episode 2 of The Executioner and Her Way of Life. A little bit of a recap. We learned quite the amount of things from the world and a little bit about our main characters. One with the world, we find out that Lost Ones, who are specifically from Japan, they've been pulled over here through summoning rituals. And since they've been here, they've had a lot of influence, or at least effect, not influence. They've had a lot of effect on the world's culture, their language, and perhaps even, you know, their technology and stuff, since they have such things as mayonnaise already made in this world. But for some reason, they're getting killed by the false because of their power, which is pure concept. And I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't accidentally read a spoiler about pure concept, but I won't talk about it until the anime tells me about it. And then for our main characters, Menou and the other girl, whose name we haven't gotten yet, even though you can find it probably in the summary or even towards the end credit of episode 1. But the other girl, the both of them have been having dreams that's similar to each other, where they get to, they see each other in their own, not in their own respective world. Well, actually, the pronouns are all messed up in this sentence, so like, what is what? But they're having dreams where they see each other, and Menou is having that dream in Japan, while the other girl is having the dream in Menou's world. But the both of them always end up seeing each other, but they just don't know who each other are. They just know that this person in their dream is important to them. We also saw a little bit of Flare, who was Menou's mentor, and the reason why Menou says that quote that she says that I currently can't remember, you know, she's justice and all that jazz. We also learn about the war between the noblesse and the false, where the noblesse are trying to overthrow the false by summoning Lost Ones to obtain their power and try to overthrow the false, while the false are just like, yo dog, Lost Ones are dangerous, let's get rid of them. Why you keep on summoning these people? For the magic and how they summon it, I'm starting to grasp on it a little bit, but I probably will have to see more of it as we continue. But I do have my full-length reaction up on Patreon, which you guys can check out in the description down below, or just go to patreon.com/Ikarat. Other than that, let us get started. Potential to distort the shape of the world itself. Yeah, I'm a priestess, pure, just and strong. Yeah, so that's what Flare said to her when she was young. I was starting a little bit before she jumped onto the freaking window. Good for hiding my scripture too. She made like the whole magic outfit, but then she's like, here, just wear the real thing. Invoke thread. Oh. I'm still trying to figure out the difference between like invoke and... Oh my god, she's like Spider-Man. Yeah, you didn't expect her to be here when you jumped on the window, huh? I feel like the opening, I mean like most other openings, contains a lot of things that will happen later on. But it makes me wonder what's with like the whole like death thing for Menou. Forgot her name for a second there. The last thing I remember is meeting that blonde hair girl in the manga. And I think after that, I have no idea. But like, I'm trying to figure out what this is. Like, what? Other than that whole metaphor of she literally gave her life, but... And then we see like the standoff of Menou and Flare, whether it's Menou fighting against her teachings from Flare. You have to figure shit out. Fast questioner. From the other one. Damn, dude, her acting game is strong. And ran away. Ooh. Yeah, dude, he was really injured, dude. He got a blow to the head. Oh no, the story is full of holes. Yeah, you're fastballing her right now. Can't give her time to think, just make her answer questions. Damn. Sure, random lady who just jumped onto my window panel, my balcony. Jesus. It's a power that can heal people's wounds. Sounds like her power isn't an aggressive one. Ooh, you're just gonna fucking dunk on her? Right in the corner? She's gonna dunk on you. That's what's gonna happen, Akari. Damn, how you get up there so fast? I mean, magic, but... Oh my god! Damn, right in the back of the neck. Real quick, dude. No time to react at all. She's dead now. Time. It's not healing. She's literally turning back time. She's just gonna wake up. Yo, dog, what happened? I fell. Ooh, you might have met your match. A girl who just... She's literally reverting time. Yeah, the pure concept of time. That's dangerous, dude. I did! Mm-hmm. I'm a suspicious intruder. Good job, Momo. God, you guys are stupid. She's literally saying I'm a suspicious intruder. Don't... If they had half a brain, which they don't. You'll be fine. Ooh, little blushes on her. Who knows how it will develop if it grows stronger. Mm-hmm. Oh. Eat away at the mine, and eventually taking over and raging out of control. Cool, 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 cool. Literally could have just waited one episode. Alright, you're just saying word salad at this point. What the f- Then even more of the 4 major human error. I'll deal with her myself. We have here a ceremonial hall that can eliminate any other worlder. We only use it in cases. Okay. Series of women disappearing here in Garm. Garm is a fucking city. The Lord is watching. Oh, that's not ominous at all. It's just paint on there at the church. Wow. Where'd you get this food? Magecraft material. Oh. She's like, give 2 shits, dude. She's just having breakfast right now. Oh, a journey. Setting off a riveting adventure of escape. How romantic, huh? Railroad? See, exactly, where's the romance in that? What if she doesn't wanna? Yeah, what if she doesn't want to go back, huh? I suddenly felt really sad. Made me really, really happy. What's the girl of your dreams, huh? For some reason, it felt like time had started moving again after a long pause. Aww. Fate. Meanwhile, Menou's over here like, dude, I just stabbed your neck like yesterday. Momo's over here like, what the fuck, dog? Playing all happy and nice with this girl? Okay, for heresy? Miss Boobalicious. Oh, Momo made the breakfast. But Momo made the breakfast. We poison her gradually. She'll just revert time. That might destroy her mind. It's taboo. Ooh. I'd rather die first. Yeah, she had 3 tickets. I'd rather... Oh. Damn, Momo. I think that's your... Her Yuri radar is going off. That's why she can't leave you two alone. You've never spent a significant time with a target before. I get that. That's my job. That's why. She's taking the burden on herself. I'll tag along stealthily so that Boobalicious doesn't notice. Oh, little flashback. She's standing right in the middle of the circle where the guy died. Oh. Holy shit, what the fuck? Oh, those 3D models! I forgot we have Akari here now, so she's gonna be the one asking questions. Sorry. Don't, Akari! She's a trap! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She's just casually using magic, dude. Oh! Yeah, meanwhile, Akari's over here just... Yeah, good luck with that. The sound effect. Bubble. Oh. Really came in for a swift discipline. These bubbles are getting all the attention. It uses the crest on this coin. Oh. Meanwhile, Momo. Ooh. Oh! Ashuna. Princess Ashuna. Oh, they were looking for her? Oh. I'm not my father, you can take... Okay. That's princess logic for you. Everybody's just bowing. Oh, she's heading to Garm too. It's the end of your life. Yep. I was thinking when the Archbishop was like, "Yeah, we've got this place that will get rid of any last ones. You know, if the executioners can't do it themselves." I was thinking, oh, Akari comes into the room and it's just a giant chopping block. It's just a guillotine. It's like, is this really gonna get me home? I've got a lot of notes to take after this, though. The amount of timestamp that I've written down. My god. Also, the other thing was, when Akari was like, "Ooh, what's all this particle that's out here?" The first thing I thought of, I was like, yeah, it's the pollution. It's just ether. I like the style that they're doing. It's just like watercolor or pasto. It's very nice. You know, the other thing that I wish still is, wish there was subtitles on these opening and ending. What do I know, huh? Well, that's that, so I will start writing my notes, Jesus, and then we will be right back to the center. Oh, I turned a corner. Where'd she go? She gets stabbed right in the neck. And then she wakes up like, oh man, you disappeared for a second. I suddenly facepalm the ground. We see that shot of like her eye when after she killed, she's just like, you know? I mean, she's also waiting for like the pure concept to activate because, okay, so around 8:20, right? I just wanted to get through this word salad that the Archbishop is fucking saying. Because she's saying all like events that had happened before with the last ones. So, this is from Menou. If her pure concept were to grow stronger and get out of control, the sword of salt that melted into the western continent. The sword of salt? So this... Hold on, this person had a pure concept of salt? Okay. The sword of salt that melted the western continent into the sea. The pandemonium that devoured the southernmost archipelago. The material room that took over the wild frontier in the east. So these are the four. The star husk that carved out the center of the northern continent and set it afloat. The star husk, the center of the northern continent and set it afloat? So it carved out the center and now there's a floating island? Or is it floating because like there's like it's a fucking lake now? I'm assuming it's like up in the sky somewhere. So her power could cause a catastrophe worse than even the 4 major human errors. So that's what she was talking about, the 4 major human errors. The material room that took over the wild frontier in the east. So like I'm trying to figure out what is the material room and what there's just materials that took over the wild frontier? Are they alive? Are these materials alive? I would assume that eventually we will see these 4 major human errors, you know, the or at least the consequences or like the aftermath of these places, because with the whole star husk that carved out the center of the northern continent and set it afloat, it's like, I don't know, maybe we'll see that eventually, whether it's in the anime or in the light novel. I really like that. Akari's carefree attitude, and then when she hears about how they have to relocate, she's like, wow, a journey! How romantic! Oh, what sort of special feelings will we develop for each other as we go on this long journey, huh? Alright, someone help me. I am literally on page 2 and I'm only 10 minutes in. If this is me having to write all these notes, I am going to fucking riot. I'm going to riot if I have more than 4 pages, alright? That's all I'm gonna say. It's just half a day and a bit. Half a day and a bit? But if it's half a day, you might as well just say it will take the whole day. Half a day and a bit. We'll be there by the evening. I don't know, I'm not sure why, but I suddenly felt really sad. When I first met you, Menou, I was startled, of course, but more than that, it made me really, really happy. I don't really understand it either, but for some reason, it felt like time had started moving again after a long pause. She sheds a little tear, but also, towards the end of episode 1 when we saw her, she said that she felt like something was misaligned. You know, perhaps, just like what she said, maybe this is like fate, and so perhaps she does have like some sort of grasp on fate because of her pure concept of time. I don't know. Just tossing out rando ideas and all that. So yeah, that the moment that I'd been waiting for had finally arrived. But Menou, I'm glad I got to come to this world. I'm so glad I got to meet you. You know what it is? I'm pretty sure this is that thing they called fate. Meanwhile, Menou's just over here stunned and shocked by what Akari is saying. Consider the fact that, you know, Menou's over here like, yo dog, I'm gonna bring you to this place, so then they can wipe you out of existence. You know, it's gonna be the last day of your life once you come into the ceremonial hall. But Akari is none the wiser. So she's just kind of over here like, yeah, you know, this is the happiest day of my life. I'm having a good time right now. I mentioned in the first episode, you know, perhaps she does feel that sort of guilt for the lost ones, and especially when she knows that these people are just kids who are coming here, and as we learn from the Archbishop about the pure concept, you know, it's not particularly their fault, you know, it's the pure concept that's eating away at their mind, and then eventually it's going to take over them, and then, you know, we have the whole 4 major human errors and all that. It's not like these lost ones' fault in the first place. So I do understand with that concept on why the Faust are so into killing lost ones. But they know that this is the whole potential that it could happen, or the damage that could happen, and that's why they're like, what the fuck's wrong with these Noblesse, man? They're just over here summoning these catastrophes, these walking catastrophe coming over. So it's very nice, very nice overall, and it's something that we learn. Well, not we learn, but we're getting little hints from Momo herself, who is upset that Menou now has to spend a long amount of time with these lost ones. She said that this is your first time ever spending this long amount of time with a lost one, and she says you're not cut out for this. And I wonder if it's because Momo knows that she feels some sort of sympathy for lost ones. She feels like perhaps if she spends too much time with Akari, she might end up, I don't know, going against the Faust and all that, sort of like what we see in the opening with Menou fighting against not fighting, but Menou, it looks like she's doing that little one-on-one with her and her master. So again, you know, I wonder if that's just her fighting against, I was supposed to say the Golden Order, but I've been playing a little bit too much Elden Ring. Really infuriating. So we've learned from both Momo and Menou that Momo doesn't particularly follow the rules. So she's over here like, let's just make quick work of her now. It's true that Rec attacks might not do anything, but what if we poison her gradually? And so Menou says no to that. That kind of attack on someone possessing a pure concept is taboo. So Momo's just over here suggesting taboo shit because she's over here like, I don't give a shit about the rules. I only care about you, Menou. And she's over here like, if I have to stay here at the trial and leave you two alone, I'd rather just kill the king immediately and end the trial right there and then. Wild, dude, wild. Repeated revival through regression is enough for the pure concept to develop into a greater risk. That's why we can't try killing her in ways. I wonder if they've tried to, like, send people back before. I mean, if they can summon them here. Why can't you summon, why can't you just get her, why can't you just boot her back unless she needs to be summoned in Japan, which would be, I assume, impossible, because Japan wouldn't have magic unless it does. I don't know. Yeah, that girl's dangerous. My instinct is blurring sirens. I know how dangerous that girl. No, you don't understand at all. You've never had to spend significant time with a target before, you know? Yeah, I don't think you're suited for that kind of thing, so that's why she's like, again, her instinct, which I assume is just her Yuri radar. It's blaring sirens. She's like, I know what Akari's going to do to you. She's dangerous, but not just because of her pure concept. Why not? Why? To have to kill someone who hasn't violated a taboo or committed a crime, who's just an ordinary nice person. That's my job, that's why. And so she wants to take on the burden herself, while Momo is over here like, yo dog, just leave all the dirty jobs to me, I'll do it. Then here's what I'll do. I'll tag along stealthily so that Boobalicious doesn't notice. I'm coming, and that's final. Okay, so we see a little glimpse of like a flashback of the both of them her of Menou brushing Momo's hair and tying up the ribbon, which we now know that there is a significance to this ribbon that she has. And so Momo says, I'm not worried about you giving yourself away. Again, it seems like Momo knows something about Menou. And again, I wonder if it's like that whole influence of Akari and whether Menou will eventually fight against the Faust and all that. But we'll see. But also with like the whole pure concept and like what will happen to Akari if she does end up using her pure concept and all that. I'm like halfway through to page 3, and I know that the whole magecraft shit is coming up, so I'm gonna hit 4 pages and I'm gonna riot. Menou comes back, right? Menou comes back to where Akari is, and Akari is just standing right in the middle of where that other dude died. And when she turns around, that's when Menou kind of has that glimpse of like that dream of like her, you know, the dream of like her best friend and all that. Ether, the guiding force. It's the foundation. Okay, so ether is the foundation, the guiding force. It generates from people's soul as well? Wait, hold on. It's generated from people's souls as well. Okay, you're saying that, and now all I'm thinking is people are human batteries. We're really out here using human I mean, we haven't seen it yet, consider that. Hold on. It's generated from people's soul as well, but there are larger sources like earthen veins and heavenly veins. I don't know what heavenly veins are, but we'll figure it out. In heavenly veins, it's also the power that drives magecraft. Okay, I'm still thinking human batteries, although it might not be as good as just finding an earthly or heavenly vein, but I don't know, if you can get a lost one and like use their pure concept as like a battery, maybe it could be good. Magecraft is a type of technology for controlling and composing ether. Okay, so it's not particularly magic, but it's magic. But it's a type of technology. Okay. There are more people who can't use it statistically. Your ability to use magecraft without tools or training makes you a special kind of genius. Don't be careless about using it. Meanwhile, Akari's like, let me heal you, child. You did not hear her at all. Just like how I completely did not listen to Menou. People are after you right now. You can't do anything that attracts attention. Okay. Alright. Jesus Christ, dude. It's fucking 4 pages. I should have known it was going to be 4 fucking pages. Oh, man. But by the time I get back to the center, I've basically already said most of my piece, but... Alright. Alright, so that was episode 2 of The Executioner and Her Way of Life. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys, unless you toss me a spoiler that will be answered in the next episode. But but I feel like I've got pretty much most of what I've said during my whole note writing thing. So the other thing that I was wondering is with Ashuna, Princess Ashuna. I've just realized these 4 characters that we've seen. What is it? The people who are like the 2 girls who are on False, both their names are it starts with M right now, and the other 2 who are on various different sides, right? Akari's just somewhere in the middle, but both of their names start with an A, which is just a pain in the butt considering I usually put their first initial in my notes, so now I have to write their full name out. But for Ashuna, I wonder why she's here in the first place, considering that her dad, King Grisarika, is being held on trial for heresy. So she's over here like, nah, I'm going to Garb. And I wonder if she's sort of having a similar idea of going to the Archbishop or not. But, you know, she's taking the same train as them, along with the 2 guards. that Menou was a little worried about. So I wonder. And then for Momo, in the first episode, I feel like it was really the music, like the comical music that kicked in when Momo was when Momo took a picture and then Menou was trying to grab her book and everything, and the two of them were fussing over it. That whole like comedic music and all that, I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know. Like Momo is just Momo. She's quite eccentric, but I really like her in this episode because I generally like characters who say things that's on their mind, and they're going and like they don't care how you're going to feel about it. They're just going to tell you what they feel. And so I really like Momo's stance in this. She knows that Akari is dangerous because perhaps she feels like Akari could get a grip on Menou. And while Menou is over here a little clueless about it at the current moment. So that's why Momo's like, you don't understand it, so I can't leave you alone. And while it was her job to be following the trial in the first place, she's over here like, no, my instincts has been blaring sirens ever since I've seen you two together, and I just can't, or when I've seen Akari, and I know that I can't leave you alone with her. No matter how Menou was trying to tell her, like, yo dog, go watch the trial, get lost, I don't need you. Momo refuses, and she's just like, no, I'm going to come with you. And even after Menou was like, the only person who can do this job of killing, I would say, quote-unquote, innocents, because she says, people who haven't even committed a crime or a taboo yet, this is my job to kill them. And even after she says that, Momo's just over here like, okay, here's the plan. I'm going to be stealthily following you guys, and that's going to be it. I'm going to be following you no matter what. We had a slight snippet of her and Menou together when they were young, and I assume perhaps Momo had a similar situation as Menou that brought her in the same place as Menou. I wonder if that's the case. That's why she's here, and she's one of the false now and all that, even though Momo, again, is the person who's not going to be following the rules. She just keeps recommending, like, taboo shit. And Menou's over here like, yo dog, stop. We can't have this stuff. So episode 1 with Momo, I'm just kind of like, but this episode, I do enjoy Momo. I really like her, I don't want to say I like her stubbornness, but again, I like that she just straight out says things that perhaps normal people wouldn't really say. They would try to mind the other person's feelings and all that, but Momo's like, no, don't give a shit. If I have to stay here and watch the trial, I'd rather just kill the king. And when she says that, I'm kind of like, yeah, I do feel like she will probably do that if you leave her alone. And the other thing with Akari is how she doesn't remember that she was killed, because like when she woke up, it feels like she felt the pain of face palming the ground, but she doesn't remember or feel the pain of her neck, because she used her pure concept when she died, and she regressed, and she got all her wounds healed and all that. Her blood's gone, her blood puddle is gone, and the knife wound's gone, but she still had the markings on her face, which is just kind of like, if you regress and you did all that, you think that she would have already healed right here, but no, she still had like the red marking. She still felt that pain, and she's just kind of like, oh, sorry, it seems like I tripped and all that. I turned a corner, you were gone, and for some reason I tripped, and when I turned around, you're behind me. I wonder why. But just like what Akari said in the beginning, she believes in Menou, and I think I already talked about why perhaps she believes in Menou, and obviously the whole dream sequence and all that shit. Akari is quite carefree of her situation. Like, she doesn't really, perhaps she doesn't understand, or she just doesn't care about the danger that Menou is trying to warn her about. And she even finds the idea of the journey to be rather romantic. before she was like, oh, we're just going by train? It's not even gonna take that long. I can't believe it. How are we gonna bond if it's only gonna take a day and a bit? But she was still excited anyways when she got in the train, so problem solved, I guess. There's the ceremonial hall as well that the Archbishop suggested. That's why they're going to Garm in the first place. They're gonna take her to a ceremonial hall that'll take 3 days to prepare, but it can eliminate any other worlders. And it makes me wonder if it will be able to eliminate any other worlders. And with that speech, I actually remember where I stopped in the manga. I said that I feel like I stopped when I met Princess Ashuna, but she literally came in like episode 2. But actually, why am I even talking about that? I'll talk about it once we get to it. So if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.